Welcome to another video on Gavin's a bit of everything. September is National Service Dog Month, and today we are in the Rough Range Dog Training Center with my mom, which is an employee here and is a dog trainer. Some of you may have noticed that she has a service dog. This is my mom, Tiffany, and her dog, Nita. Can you tell us more about Nita?
So Nita is a purebred Rottweiler. I got her when she was 8 weeks old. So she was, I got her as an 8-week-old Rottweiler. Initially she was going to be a multi-purpose service dog, which means multiple health things, because I was having seizures at one point, and then my seizures had stopped. So I decided to just go with the psychiatric service dog.
Can you tell us more about what psychiatric service dog is?
So a psychiatric service dog is definitely a service dog. Some people might not see it that way, but definitely is a service dog still, because they are task trained. They are task trained to provide not only comfort, but they also provide self-harm interruptions, anxiety cues, anxiety response, PTSD flashbacks. They do other a bunch of other tasks for any kind of mental disability, such as autism and PTSD, like you'd see in veterans. And you'd also see them with other mental health patients as well. Yep, this is our new member of the family, and this is Parker. Now Parker is a purebred Dalmatian, and his breeder bred specifically for, well, I shouldn't say specifically for service dogs, but she bred with service dogs in mind. He's a very wiggly boy. And he will be my service dog in training, as we can see in his little vest. Parker, Parker, Parker. Hi. Yes, hi. Hi. Now, Parker, can't go down. No. Parker, sit. Good boy. Hand me the treats. So, Parker is a purebred Dalmatian. He is 14 weeks old, and he is training to be a service dog as well. Now, Parker came from a very reputable breeder, goes by the name of Hopes and Dreams Dalmatian, and he's also getting trained, like I said, to actually be her replacement for when she is old enough to retire, and she'll be retiring in the next 3 years. So you see, I'm just doing a little, and I got both of them at it, so I'm doing a little, so that was just a little demonstration of their alerts. Parker, sit. I'm trying to get them both. Sit. Parker is overexcited about his and will always boop. And Nita is a little more demanding and is like, stop now. Both of them are favorable for me. Not everyone trains their dogs this way. Everyone trains their alerts differently.
The first one you explained, the psychiatric service dog, sounds a lot like a emotional support animal. Can you explain the difference?
I sure can. That's a very good question, and a lot of people actually do confuse the two. Good girl, Nita. So, can I have you hold on to that? So, the difference between an ESA and a psychiatric service dog is a psychiatric service dog is task trained. So, tasks include things like, I mentioned before, self-harm, alerts or interruptions, anxiety alerts, anxiety response, so such as DPT, which is also known as deep pressure therapy. You also have LPT, which is light pressure therapy. An ESA is not trained in any of this. An ESA, at most, is trained basic obedience. If an ESA has a really good handler, they might be trained further, but an ESA is strictly pretty much a pet, but that provides therapeutic help. So say you don't need a service dog with you in public, but having one at home after a long day at work is very beneficial to your health and your anxiety and depression or whatever it may be. ESAs are protected under HUD, so they have housing rights. They used to be allowed on planes, but because it was abused by other people who would bring their pets on the planes claiming that it was a service dog or ESA, they've made it a lot harder to get a service dog on a plane now. We have to go through lots of paperwork, we have to have it planned. It's kind of hard to have like a last minute trip because of this. So, but ESAs are strictly dogs that have housing rights. They don't have public access rights or anything like that.
How long does it usually take to train a service dog?
That's a good question. So it can take anywhere from 1 to 2 years, sometimes longer, depending on how quickly the dog learns. I believe every dog is just like us in a way. We all learn at our own speeds. So,
Yes.
I believe the same thing with my dog too. She learned at a different speed than other dogs.
What other type of service dogs are there?
So, like I had discussed, there's psychiatric service dogs. You also have mobility service dogs as well. They help their handlers get around, and if they fall, they are taught different tasks like counterbalance and guiding and stuff like that. They are specifically mobility dogs, and they have to go through a bunch of different testing. Most dogs should go through different testing, especially when you work them, but it is very important if you're working a dog for mobility to get them checked for their hips and their elbows. Just because dogs can get arthritis as they get older, and if they have any issues with their hips or elbows. Nita, leave it. Leave it, thank you. Good girl, yeah. So they have cardiac arrest, cardiac service dogs, mobility, psychiatric, and then we also have multi-purpose service dogs, which are multiple things. So you can have someone who has mental health issues, who also has another issue like with their heart or mobility, something like that. You have your guide service dogs, and you have hearing service dogs as well.
What does a hearing service dog do?
So a hearing service dog is a dog that alerts their handler if they are hard of hearing or if they're deaf. So they'll alert to like a knock on the door or a phone call, something like that.
Are there any necessary things a service dog needs to be wearing or
So like their vest and whatnot?
yes.
So service dogs in the state of Wisconsin, service dogs do not need to be vested. However, service dog in training need to be vested. Wisconsin is one of the few states that does allow service dogs in training. A lot of states do not. So you also have to not only look at ada.gov, but you also have to look at your state's laws as well. So then you know which state or which laws apply to you. So like I said, in our state, we recognize service dogs in training, but they have to be vested. And there are no ID cards. A lot of the stuff you'll see online, saying register your service dog now, something like that. It doesn't hold up in a court of law. You can get them, but it makes it harder than for service dogs who are actual service dog handlers. Because then people think that all service dogs have these identifications when they don't.
I have a few more questions.
Okay.
Can any dog, any breed of dog, can any breed of dog become a service dog?
Now, any breed can become a service dog. That does not mean every dog can be a service dog, though. Sit. Because I believe that every dog can, just some aren't meant to be. So you have some dogs that have the temperament for it and some don't.
What do you recommend for training in a service dog? Like what treats and what methods?
So I'm a balance trainer, so I believe I do use a mixture of both positive reinforcement training and I do use tools. Nita actually does not have her tools on her because she's been doing really good without them, and that's essentially the end result that you're going to want to look for in any dog. Is you work up to getting a dog that you can work without using parts or using tools. Positive reinforcement is nice to start off with puppies because then you can gauge as they get older if they're going to need tools. If you do your positive reinforcement training really well as a puppy, you might not need tools at all in the long run. As for treats, I personally prefer using the chewy treats. I feel like they can chew them and move on. Because that's kind of like how I like to do my training is I like to reward them and then be able to continue on with what we were doing.
What are some things that you notice that people out in the public can do to help a service dog handler?
Like if a service dog handler is having an episode?
No, just in general, like when they see that the dog is a service dog.
Well, a lot of people, so what we would like to see is people just ignore them. Just like they're a wheelchair or an oxygen tank, just ignore them. Act like they're not there. Now I know that's really hard because they're dogs. Obviously, anyone that sees a dog in public is going to be interested. But we ask that you don't make it such a big deal. Because we aren't a zoo. We're just another person trying to live our lives. And if that means we have to have the assistance of a dog to help us live our life, that's what we have. It just makes it easier when people ask questions, make sure that they educate their children. They don't just reach out to pet someone's dog. You should never just reach out to pet anyone's dog. And that's not even just service dogs, that's any dog. You should always ask.
And what can people do to help a service dog handler that's having an episode?
So, you'll have, everyone's different, again, and that goes as handlers as well, not just dogs, not just people in general, that's handlers as well too. Other people are going to have, they might have like an emergency medical bag that lists what they should do in an emergency. Others have patches all over their dog's vest saying don't separate, don't call 911. So pay attention to the patches. Don't walk up to, if you see a handler on the floor and their dog on top of them, don't walk up to their dog and go pet them. You can ask politely, are you okay? Do you need assistance? It's better to even just inform the manager, just be like, hey, or there's a situation in such and such aisle, I don't want the police being called, but this is going on. So you can do stuff, but there are also things that you shouldn't do because it can be distracting to the service dog when the dog's trying to do their job.
How has having Nita changed your life?
So that is a very good question. So having Nita in my life has really given me a lot of my independency back. I got into a place with my mental health where it was very difficult for me to go into the public and be out amongst other people by myself. And even if I wasn't by myself, I didn't want to be there long, and I got overstimulated quickly. Having her has helped me be able to go into Walmart, go into these bigger stores by myself. I still do only do short trips just because it can still be overstimulating, lots of stuff going on. She's also helped me give me a lot of my confidence back. There were times, obviously, with any dog, and while trying to train them yourself even, where it gets very discouraging and frustrating, and Nita and I had those times, but she's been there through it all the good times and the bad. And she's never made me doubt her love for me. I mean, she's been absolutely amazing. I've been able to get out there and meet new people. I know people throughout the United States now that I'm friends with, just because we have things in common or because it's a service dog community. It's really just made things easier. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean I'm completely healed, and that doesn't mean that my disabilities don't matter or aren't significant. There are obviously people out there that have disabilities that are more than mine. So like people with cardiac issues or mobility issues, they may need their dog every day. I don't always need Nita every day, but we still work on things every day. Training never stops, and it makes me motivated and gets me going. And even on the days that I just need to have a chill day, she's the one that's there being chill with me. Now, can I say that's going to be the same with Parker? No, I can't. But I'm also on a different part of my journey now where I'm not looking to just be at home. I'm also looking to be more active too and have a little bit more motivation. I think Parker will give that to me.
I have recently heard that you have a TikTok with Nita.
I do.
Do you plan on having a TikTok with Parker at some point in time?
So I don't plan on doing Parker's own TikTok. And the reason being is because I already have another TikTok. It's more based around my spiders, which I don't even really touch that as much. So I only have the one TikTok, and I just renamed it, and I renamed it, I renamed it Nita and Parker Service Pups. So if anyone wants to see Parker's journey or even Nita's journey, you guys can follow us on TikTok as well. It's Nita and Parker Service Pups. And we do follow everyone who follows us, follow back too, so, yeah. We have lots of stuff on there, adventures, work training. I even have some training videos from my job here, so, yeah. It has a little bit of everything, just like your channel.
Thank you for joining us today and informing us about service dogs in the community.
Yeah, not a problem. And if you guys ever need any more information, you can find out more information at ada.gov, and also make sure to check your state laws as well, because you never know, things are different in each state.
Thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. See you all next time.
Thanks.
Bye.
We're having a giveaway. All you have to do to win is subscribe. Leave a comment on our Wings, Tails, and Scales video. Follow the link over here to get more details. Good luck.